What do you call a group of divorced mutants? The X-Men. Welcome back to Cover By. You made it to Friday. Yay! My buddies Cookie from Just a Little Podcast and Comics for Thomas are standing by. Today, it's an oldie but a goodie. Check these out. House of M, Volume 1, Issue number 6. These are the two covers we're going to decide between. Which one's going to win and which one are we going to say bye to? You'll find out before this video is over. By the way, make sure to subscribe to Comics for Thomas and Just a Little Podcast YouTube channels. The links for their channels are in the description to this video. And if for some reason you're not subbed to my channel, make sure to sub me up as well because I greatly appreciate the support. It's time for first thought comments on House of M, Volume 1, Issue number 6. And with those first thought comments is Cookie from Just a Little Podcast.
What's going on? Cookie here, and we're doing another cover by. So this one we're actually doing on a story that I really like as far as when it comes to X-Men. We have two covers. We have cover A and cover B. Cover A is an interesting cover. We got the whole assembly of we have Doctor Doom, we have Namor, we have Magneto, we have Storm. So we have a lot going on in this style of cover. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think that it could have been a little bit better illustrated as far as the detail. I think it's definitely very much a lot more of like the water paint colors type of thing. It's not a heavy amount of detail. I don't really like Storm's face. I think it could have been a lot better executed. However, I think that there's a lot going on here, and I think that the background definitely enhances into the cover overall. So I really enjoy that aspect of it. I love the placement of House of M. It's a really great story. If you haven't got a chance to read it, highly recommend reading it. Brian Michael Bendis, can't go wrong. Well, you can go wrong, but this is a great story. I highly recommend it if you're an X-Men fan. If you're trying to get into X-Men, this is a wonderful story. So we have cover B. And cover B is another cover that I'm not too excited about as well. We have Namor, we have Storm, we have T'Challa on there, we have Doctor Doom, and we have Magneto raising electricity. And this one's okay for me. There's nothing wow about it. I don't like the water-esque detail or water painting detail that they did. It's not my cup of tea. I am happy that they did Storm's face a little bit better than cover A. But overall, it's a meh cover. We have 4 panels in the background. We have it's okay. I don't like necessarily the color of House of M. I wish it would have been a little bit brighter. However, I do like the placement of this one as well. So both of these covers for me are just average okay covers. Not crazy about either of them. Don't like either of them, but I do love the story. So,
Okay, Cookie. Well, Comics for Thomas, what are your first thoughts on House of M, Volume 1, Issue number 6?
Taking a look at House of M, Volume 1, this is issue number 6. I really enjoy a lot of the art that is in this series. I've only really checked out the covers itself. I've never read the run, funny enough, but I will at some point. And I actually want to pick up a lot of these covers. This A cover, number 6 of 8, it's really nice. I like what's going on in the background. I have to assume that's Wakanda. If it's not, then it's very similar to it. I think the characters are drawn well. I do like that they're, even though they blend in with the surroundings, they also stand out enough for me that I can kind of pick out each character as well. A little hard to see their faces a little bit, I guess, but it's probably just meant to be like that. I like that greenish blue aqua skyline as well. I'm really interested in the guy. I don't know where it would be on the screen here, but the guy in the back with the purple right here, I don't know what character that is, but I'd be definitely interested in finding who that is as well. Again, this is something that I'm going to eventually read, so I would definitely own this book. I wouldn't go searching too hard for it, but I definitely, if it came across, I would like to get a lot of these in my collection. So this is kind of a fun one for me. So looking at cover B, I actually recognize this this cover. If I see covers I like, I take screenshots on my phone all the time. My phone is like filled up with screenshots of comics that I really enjoy. I believe this is Greg Land, maybe. I love the Black Panther on here, and I love Magneto. Everybody looks really, really great, but those two are the ones that really stand out in this cover. It's they're not floating heads as well. I'm not a floating head fan, but I like how you can kind of see up and going on with every character, and I love that lightning that's coming out of Magneto's hands too, or whatever, the power that's coming out of that. So done really, really well. And I kind of like that. Assume that Submariner. He's got like the really pointy ears happening as well. So there's a little something about each character that's done really well. I wish that barcode wasn't down there, just at the bottom, getting in the way of everything. But again, it's part of a comic, so what can you do?
Thanks, Thomas. So I'm very familiar with House of M, even though I actually haven't read the story. I remember my friends at the time when it was leading up to House of M and all this mysterious things were happening with these Marvel characters contacting me and saying, Ryan, this is just so weird and odd and wonky and bizarre. All this stuff that's happening, I have no idea why this is happening or how this is going to lead into or what's going on in this Marvel universe. And I was very intrigued. And my friends kept me updated on the progress at the time of what was going on. First of all, keep in mind too, and I do want to acknowledge this, that this is 2005, the end of 2005, and variant covers, while nowadays they're a staple. I mean, you just expect at least a variant cover to every comic book that's released. Back then, variant covers weren't the common and the norm. So to have a variant cover for something made it extra special. I myself kind of like that when the variant cover was done because it was an event. But I digress on that. That's a discussion for another video. So the A cover. So very much the first thing I look at this and say, holy Power Girl breasts. Storm's chest is enormous. And not only is her chest enormous, she's got the duck lips going on. But then there's something about the faces to all these characters. I don't know. It doesn't feel finished to me for some reason. Now, these are muted tones, and I can tell that that's done on purpose. And I'm more of a big, bright color fan. I've expressed that in so many of my videos that I like the big, bright, bold colors. And while this doesn't have that, I do like how the characters are placed. Although Thomas mentioned the character that's behind Storm, and I don't know who that is for either. At first, I kind of thought it might have been the original Captain Marvel, but upon closer inspection, is it maybe a Kree guard? I'm not for sure. If you know, drop a comment below so we will know what character that is. At first glance, I didn't even see this character because he washed that much into the background. So it's an interesting choice of characters for the cover. And like I said, I do like the placement of them. It's interesting. Let's turn over to the B cover. Okay, this is pretty straightforward, We have, essentially those are floating heads, but why is it when the heads are that big that I guess I don't consider them floating heads? I guess it seems more like a floating head if there's a whole bunch of action going around and then the little heads all lined up witnessing the action. But I mean, this I guess technically is floating heads too. I do like the art on this and I like how this looks. So granted, we didn't get every character from the A cover because that one character that none of us seem to know who it is, he's not on this cover either. So must have been important enough to the story, but not major, which is why he didn't make the B cover. So those are my first thought impressions on the A and the B cover. It's time to give our picks and our reveals, and I will go first. I don't think that you're surprised from listening to my first thought comments that I'm going with the B cover. 100%, don't have to think about it. I really like how the art looks. The faces are much more detailed. Of course, when they're that up close, they need to be more detailed. And B is going to be my pick for cover by today. Cookie, you're up. What's your pick for today's cover by?
All right, so I am going to go with probably cover B, and I think the main reason why I'm going to go with cover B is because Storm is a little bit better executed as far as her face. I like the placement a lot better of House of M here than I did like it on cover A. That's really about it. I think Magneto is really cool, but it's just a plain cover for me, plain old Jane cover. So there's not much to it, and I don't really care for either of those covers. So if I honestly saw them, I would probably just wait for the trade and just buy the trade rather than buy the individual of this particular issue. Issue 6 was a cool issue. Emma Frost was a key component in there. It's kind of interesting that she's not on either of these covers, but neither here nor there, but going with cover B.
Looks like we're in agreement and we know which one's going to win, but is it a clean sweep? Comics for Thomas, which one are you picking?
So I'm going to go with B cover here. I've already liked it before I even knew we were going to be taking a look at it. And it's something that I definitely want to add to my personal collection at some point. But definitely go and check out some of the other covers that are in this series. They're done really, really well. Worth taking some screenshots of your on your own and maybe adding them to the PC at some point. So thank you very much.
Well, we're all on the same page. 100% cover B is our winner today. Sorry, A cover. Bye. As I said, cover B, the winner. Is that the winner for you? Is that the one you would have picked? Leave your comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, a heart. Share this video on the channel with someone that you think might appreciate it. That's always appreciated as well. And thank you for watching another cover by video. As I said, subscribe to Comics for Thomas and Cookie from Just a Little Podcast and my channels if you're not subbed to these channels already. Thanks for joining us for Cover By. We're back with DC for the first Friday of a new month in 2 weeks, and we'll see you then. Take care.